Alright. Hello, what's up guys? Raul again. Yeah. Today I want to show you guys like my updated deck profile and also some gameplay where I played a match against Yummy. And it was a pretty interesting one. So let's get into it. Of course, standard, 3 Shrouded, 1 Sorneer, 1 Rebellion, 1 Pan, 1 Orgla, 3 Malulu. This time I decided to play only 1 Lucaeus. After a lot of testing I realized Malulu is just 100 times better. When you start Malulu you just don't go Nag, but if you start Lucius you kind of go Nag. But you still want to play a Lucius because it's neat for the combos. Then I played 2 Albaz, still on the 2 Albaz, I like it. 2 Aluber, 2 Cortesia, this time 3 Tragedy because there's way more ways to fuse in this deck now because of tech I'm playing right now. And I just want discard in my hand at all times, to be honest. Ad libitum, yeah, just as a secondary target for the Tragedy, it's pretty good. You could even consider playing the Dramaturge, but sometimes with space it's kind of an issue, and maybe ad lib's just better overall. Then we play 1 Guiding Quem, 1 Kid, 1 Mercurier, standard. Then I also went a little bit down on the 5 mana. I just decided to play only 2. Because I think in this deck you don't use it as a hand trap at all. It's good to see a Dracotail name, but both sides were also on the trust package, so like, and also in the main deck. So I feel like, let's say even going second or going first, you have enough ways to get there, right? 1 Agium Chain because I shortened the package. I only want to play 1 Agium Chain, 1 Poly because I never want to. The moment you activate, the moment you have Agium Chain in your hand, that you activated Rahu, or let's say you activated 5 mana, or like whatever, if it doesn't go through, this Agium sucks in hand, you know, it kinda sucks. So I rather hard open the Patchwork. It's also best card value wise. Then I play 1 Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon. It's for a good package I'm playing right now, because I'm playing the Rainbow Bridge of Salvation. So if you guys don't know what it does, you basically go goods, send the Rainbow Bridge, and you can banish this card from the graveyard. And then you can add 1 Crystal Beast and any field spell of your liking. And for this one I'm trying to do the Despia Theater, because it basically makes it so you have another Patchwork. But instead of adding a Fiend, you add a Dragon, which is like valuable. It works with the High Spirits, it's yeah, and it's just like super clean, also with the Secretarion. And I really like it. I even like it more than the Patchwork engine. And also because you play this card, it's a better mill. And if you hard open it, you can just discard it, or you just set it and Orgla can pop it. So that's another benefit of it. And then the goods is a bit more flexible because I have multiple targets to send. I could also choose to send the Retribution. I could also choose to send the Black Goat. And that's pretty solid. Of course, other ones are also like a valid option, but these 3 will most times come up. Alright, then I decided to play free opening. I know this card hard value, like when you like, you know, I don't really like discarding in this deck because like the combos are very hand, they kind of eat the monsters out of your hand basically, and like a lot of cards. But I still want to try free because we also have the Patchwork, the goods, the Triple Tragedy. Like I think hand value wise it's pretty good, and I really like it going second because most of my games I've been losing personally, it's because I either go first and I open like multiple normal summons, or like I go second with opening multiple normal summons, and I kind of want to have opening to fix that issue. Free Katu, still standard, free Rahu. 1 Lost, 1 Red Fusion, 3 Patchwork, Red, 3 Deployment, 1 High Spirits, 1 Grass, still like this card. Then I switched to 2 Trust because I really like it to go second, and going first there are some tricks you can do, like let's say you got a hand interrupted but you still are able to resolve like a Rahu or something, like say you got Veiled or something. And then you can just go Trust, set the Rainbow Bridge, then Rahu send the Orgla, and then like Orgla can pop the Rainbow Bridge, and then you can search. So that's a pretty cute thing you can do. You can also just set the Black Goat, which is pretty good going first, because I think against Yummy this is an FTK. If you call the Yummy Snatchy or like the Copsy Synchro, they're both really valid to call. Then we play 1 Brand Retribution, Mandatory Brick. Then we play. I decided to play both the traps because I notice whenever I start with like Dracotail cards and I get full odd, it kind of is rough because I don't really want to go through the Trisha line and then lose to a nip randomly and then only have Flameless Interruption. So I decided to play both the traps just for the full lines, so I can like, let's say if I have Cartesia and like access to the Dracotail Angel line, it would just like end on Gurumel, the Arthur line, Cartesia on board, and the 2 traps, and I think that's solid enough to win. You can even add the Malulu to hand, so Cartesia and Malulu can fuse an opponent's turn. And Malulu will be an interruption because kinda is imperm in that way. So that's clean. Then still in the Giant's Mind, I really like it. One Prize Blazing Brand King, I just wanted, it was either Lad or this, but the actual deck is way too tight, and I think this card's not that bad, especially with like the popularity of like breaker decks now, with Worlds like having so many breaker decks. I think breakers will be way more popular, and I just wanted to play basically more cards that are kind of omni negates. They could also be the second Dragon's Mind, but for now I really like the trap card. Then we side one Cartesia. There was like one spot left because I had to cut something for the Masquerade. So, and it's kind of a flex spot because I either play the card, like if I go, let's say if I side against the deck, right? Let's say Vanquish Soul. I don't really like this card against Vanquish Soul, so I'll just swap it with the Cartesia basically. But if it's a breaker deck, I would just keep the Brightest Blazing Brand King, if that makes sense. But this Cartesia could also be something else. Like, let me know in the comments if you guys think there's a better card. I would be interested to know. Free Book for Eclipse. This time I cut the Dark Rulers because I feel Dark Ruler is like so awkward. Like, I don't really want to Dark Ruler most decks, if that makes sense, because like I don't think that's value-wise good. Let's say I Dark Ruler Dracotail, that doesn't do shit. If I Dark Ruler Yummy, yeah, okay, that's pretty broken. But to be fair, all I cared about anyways was the Herald. So I might as well bin Droplet, so in case he played the hand trap variant or in case he had Imperm, I was still able to dodge some stuff, you know? So I think Droplet is like overall a little bit better in this deck. Then the Trust, I just want to play their Trust. And then we're still on the 3 Shadow Fusion, the 1 Beast and 1 Window. I want to explain this package a little bit more. Because, okay, let's say you play against Yummy, right? We all know the Herald of the Arclight is very annoying for this deck, because if they keep it on field, all your cards are gonna get banished. So if you go Shadow Fusion to that deck, it's pretty solid, because you still, because Window requires the dark typing, it's pretty valid to send like either Tragedy or Mercurier in order to get cards back to your hand, which is really really nice value wise. And also you can like get starters of it. It's a little bit more flexible. You can even get an Oliver, you could get a Cartesia, you could get almost anything, right? And it's pretty good. And Yummy has to basically book it because otherwise their interruptions don't work anymore. So that's also a really good one. And then against Vanquish Soul, they also have to like, it's really awkward for them basically in order to like play, because like the only play they have is like Holy Steel, but most of the times that's fine anyways. So, you know, you kind of win it, like it's kind of a win-win. And like one draw and either setting a Katsu or Rahu or sending a Tragedy in order to get an Oliver or sending a Mercurial on their like thing, it's like way too flexible. I really like this package. I wouldn't cut it. Then for the actual decks are basically the same thing. Like as the last videos, don't want to really go through this that much. It's just perfect the way it is. Some people think you can cut Burrow. Maybe. For me it comes up. And I really love Burrow because I used to be a Dragon League player, but it's your choice. It could be also a second Arth Lion. It's a choice. Alright. Now that I've shown the deck list, like let's get into like some gameplay. So I played against Yummy. I lost the dice roll. And my opponent opened Spurge, Ash, Droplet, Copsy, Yummy, and Lolipo. So yeah, he's gonna play his turn. You know, we all know how Yummy works, so I'm gonna fast forward a bit. So he goes Snatchy, Field Spell. He sets the other one, which is really really nice, because let's say I were to nib him or whatever. then he would be able to like make it look like nothing happened, which I really like. I think good players will always start with this one, if they have a good hand, let's say, because he had 2 names. So he goes Meta Marcher, Reborn the Lolipo, and then makes Herald of the Arclight. And then he sets the surprise and the droplet, and the only known card I have as information is the surprise. But I opened pretty insane. Like, low-key I opened insane. So I opened Brand Fusion, Fusion Deployment, 5 mana, Sarner opening Cartesia. Yeah, I'm gonna start deployment because I want to have like a Cartesia on the board as soon as possible, because against Yummy the Granganule is like actually broken, like really broken. So I start with that. My opponent goes Ash Blossom, which I'm really surprised of, but I think it's also valid in a way, because like this Cartesia into Grand is like actually like cracked, you know? It's like super cracked. And he still has Herald for other stuff, and then he has like the Purge on top too. And he doesn't wanna like sequence it awkwardly. So when he ashed the deployment, I could like kind of think about him having Purge already, which made a lot of sense. Yeah, so then I normal summon Cartesia, and then I activate the Brand Fusion. He's gonna negate with the Herald, which makes sense. And here I'm thinking like, okay, do I either go to battle phase and try to force this surprise in order to make him summon like a cookie, which is like kind of bad for him, and then like he has to go cookie, lower this attack, which I was pretty fine with. Like I'd rather have that than him bouncing my stuff, or I'd rather have that than him summoning like Snatchy again. So I did that, so I went attack declaration, he goes surprise for cookie, he lowers my attack. I'm pretty fine with that. Now I'm thinking, okay, do I play into the in the battle phase? But then again, I already could think there was a Purge in his hand, so I didn't feel like opening now like would have done anything. And then again, this set could either be Imperm or maybe a Trust Bluff or whatever, because he hasn't used it yet, but I also haven't forced it yet, so I'm just going to main phase 2. I'll use the Cartesia effect. Then he changed the Lolipo, and the only thing I'm basically scared of is the Lolipo in graveyard, because I want to get rid of it so my Saronir can still like grab the Brand Fusion back from graveyard, and so I have to go chaining 2 like chaining 3 Saronir here, targeting the Lolipo. Then he goes chain Droplet, sending the field spell. I just let it go because like if I go Femina here, it's kind of neg, so I just summon it. Then he goes Cupsy, and then the Snatchy, he places the Mignon, and then he adds a surprise for follow-up. Then he goes Snatchy effect, I chain the Femina, because Femina can still make the Granganule here. Oh, and then we get a huge chain link because he did use a monster effect to special summon another one. So I get chaining 1 Granganule in order to send, chaining 2 to summon from either deck or extra deck, and then chaining 3 Saronir in order to dump. And then he goes chaining for the Lolipo. Oh, not the Lolipo, the Cookie Synchro. I'm fine with that. So new chains. Lol, I'm high. This motherfucker cheated. He cheated and he still lost, bro. What's up? Bro, this motherfucker lost. Ayo, bro, low-key? I swear, bro, this guy was already sketchy. I don't know why I didn't catch that. I'm like low-key restarted for that. But, alright. Is someone still back? Oh my god. Why did I see this, bro? I'm so retarded. Okay, so I go Brand Fusion, Lebellion, discard. I don't use the Quem yet, because I think that's kind of interesting, because like I kind of want this Cartesia in order to like get to hand and then tie-in clad summon the Albaz and then Albaz discard Cartesia so it can then after comeback, which I think value wise is better. Okay, so I go chaining 1, Lubayon chaining 2, Lollipop. No, chaining 2, Malulu. He goes chaining 3, Lollipop, banish to 5 mana, sure. He goes Snatchy. So I fuse with the Albaz and the Granule into Albion. Then I go Albion effect, banishing the Blulu and the Sarner. Going for the Star Source. I sadly couldn't set the Rahu because I didn't have a monster in hand, of course. But like he was always going to negate this Ketu anyway, so I was like kind of fine with it. But I was like, let's say if he misplayed and he just one Ash to deployment because like he could have like, I don't know, like not a lot of people know how Brand works perfectly, so they might like just Ash the first thing because Brand Fusion is the one. But yeah, I just wanted to check. And he purchased the Ketu, but let's say if it did resolve, like I would have went most likely for the Lucaeus, then Albion, Lucaeus into the Secretarion, then Lucaeus set the Rahu, and then Secretarion Reborn, and summoning the Lucaeus back, adding the Orgula, or adding another 5 mana, and then play from there. But now we go into the end phase, and I keep this yummy Snatchy on the board because it's a Link monster, of course. Then I summon the Albaz with Cortesia into the thing. Yep, and then I use Jane in end phase because in my opponent's turn I'm still able to play with the Cortesia. And then like I could otherwise like I have 2 options. I could go Cortesia, make the Philia Regis and then banish the field spell, which is an easy way of winning. But I could also go Cortesia with Mirror Jade, make Garang, and then chaining 1 Garang, send the Adlib, chaining 2 Quan to Reborn a Mirror Jade, and just have like extra 4 interruptions, which was nice. So he top decks the Purge, he goes first action the field spell to put some back. Damn bro, I get cheated a lot bro, crazy. Alright, then I go chaining, yeah, just as I said, like, I really like this play. Then he summons the Snatchy. I go chain Jade because otherwise he Mignon reborns. So I go Surprise Reborn, make Link 1 again, I just go Brand in red and I just win. So yeah, so that was game 1. Pretty clean. Game 2, my opponent goes first again. He opens Engage, Droplet, Trust, Cookie, Re-Latency. Pretty broken. So he does the standard yummy plays, you know. Nothing special there. Oh man, I swear. This deck, low-key, bro, it's not that hard, bro. I low-key, I don't know. I don't really like him either. It's way too easy, bro. So, okay. So, he sets Droplet, he sets Surprise, he has Arrow of the Arclight, Snatchy, Lollipop, Relating in hand. Bro, low-key, I top deck Brand Fusion, bro. Maybe I'm gifted, bro, but I don't know, bro. This deck loves me, bro. So I go main phase, Brand Fusion. He goes chain Lollipop, summon 2 back. I'm like sure. Like nothing I can do there. Then I go Albaz and the Mercurier. Make the Lubayon. Then I discard the Brand New Red because I can always get it back with the Shrouded later. Then he chains the Copsy. Bro! Low key? Wait, 1 sec. Low-key! Low-key! Why am I this retarded? Why does he cheat me twice? Why am I so retarded? Okay. I'll restart it. Okay guys? This motherfucker cheated me twice. I still beat this motherfucker. Alright. So Mercurier at Cortesia. Because if I want to use Jade, I want to kind of play around I really want to play around like a Droplet or an Impermanence because he has 1 unknown set, so it's either Droplet or Impermanence. Of course, I can only play around Droplet, like depending on what he sends, but you get what I mean. So I go Shrouded, send for cost of Retribution, draw card, and I drew the Eclipse, like the GOAT. That was crazy. And I go add back red, because he goes Lupo, like target the Retribution, which was like inting, but I would have targeted the Brand Fusion, but you know, people don't know how Brand works. Valid. This takes way too long. It's way too nerdy. Then he sends 2 monsters for cost. I chain the Eclipse. And yeah, he thinks about it and he lets it go. So what I knew, so okay, at this point he didn't Asher Brand Fusion, okay, so I can like cut the Ash out of my mind of like cards he could have in his hand. He didn't. Okay, he's probably on breaks because I saw a Droplet before, so like the only cards he could like probably have are like other breakers in hand, and probably some side cards, so, or a Purge. So he had the Relating Sea, so like I could like only guess like Relating Sea and the Purge as like hand interruptions or so. Oh, actually, I could count Purge out because otherwise he would have purged the Eclipse, of course. So Purge is also out of the question. Then I banish the Herald. Alright. Then I go Rahu. Then he goes Relating Sea, which really hurts. It really hurts. So add back the Cartesia. Then I go Battle Phase. He burns the Lollipop, then goes to the Synchro, blah 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 blah. Goes Cookie to set. Instead of popping with the Field Spell, which I was very surprised though. Then I don't really, okay, so I went Trust, and like my thought process here was, I either just say, you know what, run it, I'll make Window, and then end phase, I just go add the Albaz and I just pray, like I just like pray, which was maybe also valid, or I add the Quam of course, which was maybe also valid because like basically his only out is like Hardbake SP with the Cup C and the Relating Sea, or he makes like Typhon, but I think in both cases I still get to live, I'm still in a good position, right? But then I want to also like add the Patchwork, so like if I go Poly into Guardian Chimera, like I still have a chance to play, right? Because like if I just like draw Ketu, I'm like, it's GG's. Or if I draw Ketu or like something else, like the Shadow Fusion, it would be like GG's on the spot. Oh no, actually Shadow Fusion is inting, dog. I forgot. You cannot if I go Shadow Fusion, he just goes Cookie and Reborns too. Nah, bro. Shadow Fusion was ass. That's why I didn't add it. Okay, I go Poly. Best card in the game. Activate Guardian Chimera, then he changes the Cookie, Reborns too, and like I draw like bad trash, right? So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll just pop the Field Spell and let him play on his own Relating Sea and like make him SP, or like let him make like something else in order to like have it like awkwardly outed. Then we go end phase and he just randomly draws because he's like thinking, oh yeah, Eclipse resolves, so I draw one. But I had to tell him like, you know, I get to choose what end phase effect resolves first, right? So I say put the card back. I trust him. It's like not something like cringe, like not that he like draws into an Ash and then shuffles his hand and put another back. Like no way, right? So yeah, bro. So I go Timecloud. Discard the Rainbow Dragon, I fuse into Rinbrum, and I just say like, you know, go for it, dog. Go for it. Then he goes Snatchy, I negate it and bounce it. Then he normals the Copsy at the Mignon. Yeah, also, he doesn't have any in the graveyard, so he probably has to link up like the Relating Sea at any point, but he decides to not do that. So he kicks over my stuff. I take around like 3,900, 2,900. Then he goes SP, banish Bafu, Trust at Purge. and he passes. I sadly top deck into a droplet, like really sad. Like, yeah, it was kind of sad, but you know, happens. Also, my 2 Albazes are vanished, and this Mirror Jade can trigger because he just linked it off in his control. So yeah, I'm in a rough state. He goes Bell Phase again, leaves the relink, see again on board. And then I draw into a Malulu. And like at this point, I already know I lost. He also has like Rivalry, which is crazy. So yeah, we respectfully go into game 3 and I accept defeat. Game 3, my opponent, like, you know, I open pretty okay-ish, and my opponent also, like, he opens kind of cracked, to be honest, like really good. So yeah, I go first, shuffle my hand, I activate Patchwork. He goes Ash Blossom, which is kind of valid because, like, let's say I have like Lucaeus, or let's say I have like Malulu, and like he goes like, you know, it's kind of awkward for him, basically, what I'm trying to say. Then I go Rahu, you know, send this, send the Femina and the Mercury from hand. Then R-Fly and Tart Femina, chaining 2 Feminas at the K2. Then I go good, send the Rainbow Bridge. I activate it at the feeder. I didn't go send Dragon's Mind or anything else because I know if I had the dragon in hand, I am literally like just making Secretarion, and then Secretarion will reborn the Rainbow Dragon, and then I just go Trishula, Banish Tragedy, normal summon Oliver, and that wins, right? So I think adding the dragon here was like very important. So I go, and also because he ashed early, like I'm also like thinking like, okay, you could have still a Perch because yeah, it's broken. The only thing I maybe could have done different was goods first instead of like the Rahu, and then in case he goes relating C, I still have the goods banish, add the Rainbow Dragon, that's be a feeder, so I still have the Guardian Chimera play, popping the what's it called, the relating C. That's one thing I could have done differently. But now I go Despia Feeder, fuse these two, the Dragon and the Femina. Then I go Secretarion, targeting the Femina and the Crystal Beast. Summon the Crystal Beast, and now I'm able to make Trishula. Now I go Trishula effect, banish the Tragedy, his top deck, and then one from his extra deck. I decide to banish the Cupsy here. I think it's almost like it's always correct to do Cupsy in my opinion, because like you just put him on better have like Obedient Scroll, or you just like lose, like literally. So I banish the Tragedy, add the Oliver, and remember I still have a Mercury Engrave, so I have to do the line kinda nicely. So we go Albas, Lebellion, make Albion, and instead of making Lebellion here, because I thought about it, I could either go Lebellion, then make Jade, and then Mercury search like a Shroud or Cortesia. But I liked it more to make hard make Rinbrom here. So after I place Lost, I can play in End Phase and then go Lebellion into Jade, and also have like the Lebellion on board. I mean the Mirror Jade plus Rinbrom on board, which is more value because then, you know, I get the Lost Search, I also get Rinbrom, bounce a card from mine back to hand, and like from just this Oliver and Mercury Engrave, I am basically able to go +3. So I go Shrouded, send Albaz, draw into an opening which was broken, which was like very broken. I have to admit, that was crazy. So in end phase I go opening, some Quam send Cortesia, Dopamine, okay, add Cortesia, Albion, add the red, and here I just go crazy. I just go red, target Albaz, then Oliver and the Albaz make Lebellion. Then I go Lebellion, discard Cortesia, chaining 2 Cortesia. I don't trigger the Lost yet because I was thinking about it, and like I might want to add something else, something that's like, I might have wanted to add another Albaz from the Lost, for example, but then I was thinking about it. I could also just go chaining 1 Mirror Jade, chaining 2 Rinbrum, bounce this back, and then send the Titanic Lad, and then end phase I would have like Titanic Lad search the Albaz, which is also broken. So yeah. So I make Jade here, then I goes Lost Search, then I search the Shrouded, because like it's a level 8 dragon, it's really good. And then I go Titanic Lad, chain Rinbrum, bounce the Bestial Bow into my hand for next turn. And then I add a Albaz. So I've like... Okay, this ad-lib is like basically useless, but I have Rinbrum, Mirror Jade, Cartesia, and still Quem, and I still have a Growing Renewal in my extra deck. And then lost maybe like Search of Mercure if I find a way to go like Lubellion, put back the Mercure in order to search it off the lost again, which is like probably possible, but you know. And my opponent has 3 cards. Like we'll start his hand with 4 cards, so I felt really confident. He also doesn't have the Copsy Synchro, and I banished already 1 Copsy, which is also good for the grind. So he goes normal summon Lollipo, then he goes Snatchy. I decided to not negate with the Rinbrum because yeah, I just like didn't care enough, to be honest. I don't think this is that scary because I can just like Cartesia, then Fuse. And I also don't want to play into Trust and Obedience Gold. Like one thing you need to learn in this matchup, let's say you play it, and you're playing against Yummy, right? So you're playing Branded and you don't play the lock because like you're actually like crazy at the game. You want to play around Obedience Gold as much as you can. So you always have to keep at least 1 body on your opponent's board, because Obedience Gold is their only good going second push. Like literally the only good one. So, you know, don't ever play into it because then you just lose. But that's just because of you playing into the Obedience Gold when you didn't have to. So low-key guys, let that be a lesson, and I hope you guys learn from it. And you know, if I helped you, bro, say it in the comments, bro. Alright, Cartesia effect. He goes Chi Droplet, bro. I was like, damn, that's crazy. Like, that was actually crazy. I literally only wanted to do was Cartesia into Albion. Then Albion banish like the Trish and the Titanic, and then go like Regis banish the field spell because it was wide open, right? And all of it would have been under loss protection, so he couldn't drop it at any point. But he decides to chain Droplet, and negates the Cartesia, the Rinbrum, and the Mirror Jade. I have no chain mode in hand, so I'm like, yeah, sure, dog. I already knew the last card would have been like something like a Trust or Obedience School, so I was fine. But then again, I have six big guys on my board, you know, and like the two bitches, Cartesia and Quem, you know. Okay, let's say 3 big bodies and like the 3 dragons. Okay, Rinbrum's not a dragon, even though it's in his name, you know what I mean. And the 2 bitches, dog. So I was like, fine. He goes like, Cookie, try to book my shit. I go chaining 2 Quem. Reborn the Albion, dog. Cause like, bro, if he kicks over it, it's 3, you know. So Reborn still, I'm like, sure, dog. Bang, bang, bang. Then he goes Lollipo, banish the Adlib, valid, very valid. Synchro into Starhand. I was like, okay, I guess. Like, I think that might have been like int, but not sure. Like, I think Loki, if he kept the bodies on board, it would have been better. Okay, then he goes Field Spell, put back. Then he synchros into the Copsy Synchro again. And then he adds the Copsy, discards the Cookie. Special, add the Mignon. Okay, so he could have done this play way earlier because he misplayed. But then again, this motherfucker was never winning, dog. Like, no way this guy was ever winning, bro. Low-key, I have 6 guys on my board. 6 guys, bro. Like, what are you gonna do? Okay, 4 guys and the 2 bitches. But like, what are you gonna do? Like, bro, think about it. Think about it. This game was over the moment I had the moment I normal summoned that Oliver and added Brand Fusion. The game was over. Okay, so he goes battle, kick over the Rinbrum, kick over the Cartesia, which was kind of inting. I would have kicked over the Quem, but you know, sure, dog. You do you. The game's over, dog. I just go Lil Fink, because I could also normal summon the Albaz here, which will be like crazy. But no, I still had Albion, I think. Okay, but I still normal summoned the Cartesia and I just went Prio effect. Because like Dex Chain, even if he synchros, he doesn't get any triggers and he cannot respond, and I just freely go Star Source pop, whatever he summons. So he chains, then he chains Snatchy, and then he reborns, and I'm like totally fine. I'm like chilling. I just go chaining one Star Source, start the Lollipo and the Herald. I go chaining to Lost, he's thinking, and then I tell him you cannot respond. Lost is broken card. Then I just flip Jade, flip Quam. Then they go Rebellion effect, I'm just like fab and just flexing at that point. At this point it's just flexing. Then he goes chain Snatchy, I go chain Jade, and the game's over, bro. But the game, to be fair, was already over when I normal summoned that Oliver, bro. Like, low-key. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Also remember, Ido is fake. Even though this match would have given me a double loss because it took 42 minutes. That was on my opponent. To be fair, my opponent like was thinking way too long. So if this was the IRL 30, bro, okay, I would have won easier because I would have like been like, yo, hey, you know what's up, bro? This like 50 minutes, bro. Like we have this 50-minute new time rules, bro. You better play faster, man. I don't care if you did prep for Reddit, bro. You have to play faster. I would have like been on his ass, and then I would have 2-0'd his ass, you know. So IRL. This would have been easier, just saying. If it was on stream, hopefully the judges would have like shocked my opponents to play faster. So, alright guys. Yeah bro, that's been it. That's been it, you know, that's been it. Best deck, don't forget it. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And comment down below which matchup you want to see next. Because I have a lot of gameplay and I think we're just gonna analyze them together, you know. So we both get better, dog. So don't forget to like, subscribe if you aren't already, or I'll kick you in the nuts. And have a nice day.